Mark, to just fill in the blanks on what I love to ride the conversation, that Sasha Stone that is part of the group with David Steele and Richard Mack, they've got their own international tribunal of some sort, and they're trying to follow common law, and there's a number of people that are sitting on that international tribunal that they're calling that seem like honorable, good-hearted people that are just entangled in the hype that deceivers like David Steele and Richard Mack are generating. And I, even though Sasha Stone seems a little bit effeminate to the borderline homosexuality to me, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt more so than Steele or Richard Mack. Generally speaking, Sasha Stone sounds like I do believe he claims to be a he. He's got all that facial hair. I do believe he's probably a good-hearted person. But I can't say that for Robert David Steele especially. That guy's got serious problems. He's ex-CIA. And right behind him is Richard Mack. Richard Mack's done a lot of bad stuff. And the others, you know, that My Pillow guy that you said is part of the group in Charlie Ward. Is Charlie Ward the My Pillow guy?
No.
There's problems with him.
Mike Lindell, Charles.
Okay, I had Charlie Ward and Mike. Both of those. Charlie Ward, I've seen his videos. Yeah, he seems problematic to me too, as does Mike Lindell.
Well, he has Stone and Robert Steele on his program all the time that I've seen. I've only seen a few of them, you know, but two of them, Steele and Stone, were both on with the girl that they're going to meet up with, some blonde-haired chick, you know, I don't know, didn't know her, but I've been saving his messages because I get them, but I haven't been looking at them, you know, that's all I know. But Mac, get this, he's got one freaking bus all to himself. Whether he's going to go through the whole thing or not, I don't know, but we'll see what that all develops. But I thank you for the heads up, man, because who knows where. Okay, now the word tribunal, what I've seen on that, have you seen this list? Are they involved in the military tribunal? Is that what you're saying?
No, although I think goofballs like Robert Steele actually advocates them. And he's kind of speaking out of two sides of his mouth because they're assembling what they call an international criminal court of common law jurisdiction. I forget the exact name they're doing, but they're making noises like they're trying to move in a positive, righteous, grassroots, empowered manner. But then all of these QAnon trumpets are associated with them that are out the other side of their mouth. They're talking about having military tribunals and secret executions. Like we had a fellow on here associated with Brad Herrick. His name was, he only went by the name of Chipper, but he was talking like secret military tribunals and executions are a good thing. And he was in here doing that kind of talk with a straight face. A number of us got in his face and showed him the door and explained to him that he's being an absolute idiot in his most favorable light and a treasonous conspirator subversive in an unfavorable light. And he hasn't come back.
That sounds quite a lot like Gina Haskell, the former head of the CIA that was part of the Abu Ghraib torture of those people down there in these rendition centers. Further, Richard Mack, he created the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Organization, which is kind of like the Oath Keepers for law enforcement officials. And basically, you know, it was trying to get sheriffs to be empowered. He wrote some books. He was involved in that case. I forget what it's got another name other than Mack versus U.S., but on the sheriff's rights being the highest law enforcer in the county, except for most of them have been hijacked by their county commissions and councils under their pay connection schemes to control the purse strings, which is the power of the purse that they use to hold as leverage over their sheriffs to keep them under control and do what the county commission czars want them to do. And so whenever you start looking at this, there's another aspect of this Boykin that I spoke about before, who is obviously COINTELPRO. They had him and two other generals on Steve Bannon's war rooms yesterday, and talking about these generals that wrote this letter. And the letter is not all bad, and it's pretty good, warning of the dangers and so on and so forth, like these lifelong military guys of the militant-industrial complex have suddenly had a change in their belief systems and are now supporting constitutional ideas. I don't buy it for a minute, and anytime you're following these military guys, they're pretty savvy at twisting the words and using honeyed words in your ears to make you fool and trick you to lead you down the path of destruction to go into their militant tribal ports. Like I say, those are inquisitorial star chambers under the admiralty process of the law of the sea, and bringing it here on the land is an insidious concept. Thank you.
Loud and clear. Thanks for the update on Mac. Charles?
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
I had heard about Mac a long time ago with the sheriff bit. I didn't know what his thing was, but whatever. And on my brain. Well, we'll just keep an eye on them, man. So, yeah. Yeah.
If you weren't up to speed on that, we laid a lot on you here real quick. It's going to take you a little while.
How did you find out about them, Charles? Just curious.
Well, over the years,
okay.
Sheriff, we had testimony in previous conferences like this. There was, and Lewis might have heard it, but Lewis has dropped off here, but this could have contributed to Lewis's decision against Shrf-Mack also, in that there was an Amish farmer that was being prosecuted because he developed a type of a salve of herbs that are capable of healing cancer, especially skin cancer, and he was curing a lot of people with it. And the FDA came down on him and threw his ass in jail and railroaded him through corrupt judicial process. And a whole lot of patriots came out to defend that guy, and one of them was Richard Mack. Okay, but the bottom line was there was factions around this guy trying to help him navigate through the corrupted judicial process, and one of the Amish fellows in my conference and some of the others were advocating proceeding without a bar member attorney. Okay. And I believe most of the more enlightened people in this conference recognize the merits of that position, that those bar member attorneys, they're there to sell you out. 99% of them are moral prostitutes, and there may be one that's once in a while that's an exception, but it's very, very rare. And Richard Mack was entrenched in advocating that this Amish farmer contract a bar member attorney to represent him before that corrupted de facto court, and most of the other patriots, including the Amish farmer that was part of our conference here, he testified that was true before us, and that him and the others were against the Amish farmer that was getting prosecuted, against him getting a bar member attorney. Because most of us have seen how many times, 99 out of 100 times, those bar member attorneys, they'll sell you out. They're under pressure. Yeah. So that was the big thing. Well, I'd had problems with Richard Mack before, but that was one of the big ones in my historical context of why I know there's serious problems. He's also deeply entangled with Masonry out of Utah there. And I do believe there's a lot of good Masons, Mormonry out of Utah there is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
I don't know about Masonry.
As far as I'm concerned, they're two, as far as I'm concerned, they're two fingers in a glove.
Definitely. Both Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons were basically founded by Masonry. Yeah. And there may be others, probably others.
Aprons.
Huh?
They're all wearing aprons.
Yeah. That's kind of an earmarking there.